Hello everyone, JRDO96 here with a brand new reaction. As you can tell by the title, it's another Crank gameplays video, and this one is pretty intriguing because of the title alone. It says something along the lines of, I'm back. Kinda. And I think it's pretty obvious why the word kinda is attached to it is because he can't really do, that many videos for too long because he's going right back on the second leg of his tour, May 10th. So he's been lately just been relaxing and, kind of prepping mentally, for the second leg of the tour. So he can't, he's probably not going to make that many videos. Obviously, clearly, he hasn't made that many videos since, this tour really started. And that's fine, but, hey, what are you going to do? So I wonder what he's going to be saying here in this video. I'm just kind of intrigued on what he's going to say. Probably something along the lines of, yeah, I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna make some videos, and then I'm gonna have to go back on tour, etc. And then we'll see what goes after that. So, anyways, let's just get right into it. So, without further ado, let's react to this video, shall we?
Hello. After like 6 weeks out on the road, I am back from tour. Just for a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Basically until next week. And then I go out again. Tickets are available still for
Yes.
I just woke up, so sorry if
you could tell. I could kind of tell.
I just woke up. I just wanted to make this video.
He just got a slight haircut. I see. I kind of notice.
My experience and about how amazing it was. The show was something that I worked extremely hard on, and it's something that I wrote over the pandemic, over the last like year and a half.
Wow.
Is how long I've been working on it. About a year, I guess, a little over a year. And it's something that was really personal to me, and it was
obviously I could tell.
It's very vulnerable. Most of the show is about sort of like my relationship with you guys, with my audience, and like what it's like being a
I can
creator.
tell. A content creator.
I put a lot of myself into it, and I was pretty vulnerable in it, and it was something that really meant a lot to me at the end, and it was something that I was really proud of, and it was something that I was really afraid of, honestly. Not only like was the process scary because it was something really new, something that I hadn't done before, but it was something that I was really afraid to show people because I wasn't sure how people would react to it, and the response from the first leg was so amazing, and it was so overwhelming.
Wow.
And it was honestly way crazier than I thought it was going to be. Like seeing the amount of people that came out to the shows and seeing the reaction that people had to the show was really, really amazing. Again, like all of my videos, this isn't scripted at all, so I'm just speaking out of my brain.
Yeah.
But I just want to take a sec to like genuinely thank everybody that came to the show and came and supported this thing and saw what I made. It was.
You're
really
welcome,
amazing.
Ethan. I really enjoyed the hell out of the show.
Share this thing with people because I had kept it.
Hope you crushed the second leg.
Long time, like not only, like not telling you guys what the show was about, but telling nobody what it was about. Like Mika didn't even know anything.
Really? You didn't even tell her?
Until she saw it a couple days before the first show in Chicago back in November.
Wow.
So unless you were a part of the creation of
kind of like Andrew Garfield or Emma Stone because of No Way Home.
Something that meant a lot to me, and like I definitely want to thank like all of my family and all my friends,
of
and
course,
especially Mika for being so supportive of that, because I feel like I live my whole entire life online, so there's not really much that I can keep a secret, and this was something that I didn't want to share it with anybody until I was ready to share it, because I feel like I'm constantly just like trying to put stuff out and showing people things and blah 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 blah, which is great, but it's nice to just have a chance to like show people a thing that I'm making when I'm ready to show it. So
yeah,
I do want to take a sec to thank all of my friends and my family, and specifically Mika for being so supportive of that and not trying to be like, well, let me have a little scoop. Like everybody was so cool about letting me keep it a little secret until I was ready to share it. I don't even know how to like properly say how I felt about tour. It was such an amazing experience.
It had to be overwhelming too.
Something that was so special. And like I went on tour back in 2017
with Mark and his You're Welcome tour.
With everybody, and that was super fun, and
that was completely different than what he did.
A little bit more special for me, just because this was wholly my show.
Yes,
something that
This is way different than Mark's.
And so having that happen and seeing the theaters and the venues fill up, like selfishly, all for me was really weird, and it was really crazy because I feel like I'm not used to that kind of thing, because I do a lot of stuff with other people, especially like in live settings. I've basically only done things with other people.
Well, so you did the You're Welcome tour with Mark, so that was technically the only thing.
Stuff fill up and seeing so many people come out to the shows for me, and that was really special, and it really put things every time something like this happens, whether it was like going on tour in 2017, 2018, or just like doing a panel.
Yeah, PAX panel and stuff.
Into perspective, because like you see this room full of people and you're like, wow, that's a lot
people
of
are here
crazy.
for me.
And then I think
like that kind of thing.
Okay, this is a room of 1,000 people or whatever, and I have 2 million subs at this point.
Yes,
which is insane to think about. I don't know, it just really put a lot into perspective, and it was really cool, especially after the few years that we've had, like seeing all of you guys there. And I wasn't able to do any like meet and greets or signings or anything like that. One, just because of time, but two, we had to try and stay as safe as we could with COVID.
The pandemic's still around.
So I didn't like get to be face to face with anybody all that much.
You had to do like virtual.
It was mostly just like me seeing people.
Virtual hugs, essentially.
Or during the actual show, like looking into the crowd. But being able to actually see people in front of me that are a part of this community was really fucking cool. Really cool. But yeah, I still like don't even feel like it was real.
Oh man,
like,
that's how I felt when I went to see you.
Up and seeing the reaction and like people being so supportive and so kind, like the whole crew, which I'll talk about the crew in a minute. But everybody was constantly saying like how nice you guys were and how compliant you guys were, where like you guys would come in and they'd be like, okay, you guys line up in this way, and you guys were always just like, okay, yes, we'll do it. And so the crew just didn't have like, they had endless nice things to say about you guys. So I really appreciate you guys being
even
so
like
awesome
everybody, like the people that were at the merch booth and stuff. Really nice.
Really great. So I was super pleased to hear all that. And then on top of that, going back to the crew, I felt so lucky. I felt so lucky to have the crew that I had on this tour. Like everybody was, one, kicking ass at their jobs. 2, kicking ass at multiple jobs, because we didn't have a huge crew or anything.
Yeah, like
in total there were 9 of us. Most of the tour was only 8 of us. But
9 people essentially working,
which is a fair amount
on lighting, audio.
Everybody was wearing multiple hats.
Mic, and probably some of them were multitasking.
Job.
Wow.
And it was so nice, because I feel like normally with YouTube and everything, I most of the time, except this has changed a lot now, because now like there's multiple editors for the channel.
Yeah.
And I got an assistant, Jocelyn, recently, who's been super helpful. But for the majority of my time on YouTube, like I've done everything mostly myself. And so it was amazing to be able to like delegate stuff and to know that like, okay, like these people are taking care of this thing, I don't have to take care of that. Like all I had to do on tour was focus on doing the show.
Yes,
doing the show
that was the main focus for your.
Being able to just have to focus on that was so amazing, and so, like, I really want. I don't know if any of the crew is watching, but I just want to genuinely thank all of them so much, because it was not only were they just fucking cool people and like really fun to hang out with and super kind and funny, and everyone was super weird. Super weird, which I love. I loved that so much. But it was amazing just being able to focus on the show, and the show would not have happened at all without any of them. Whether it was the people who helped me out from Real Good Touring at the beginning in the like pre-production stage,
Yeah.
or whether it was the crew actually on tour. Like none of this would have been possible at all. So
I
just
could
wanna
tell
say
based on the
to the
lanyard
crew
that we
and
were given
everybody
for
who helped
VIP, it
in the
has Real
creation
Good
of the
Touring
show.
on it.
I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for making this happen, because it would not have happened
Wow.
without you at all. But tour was really really amazing, and it's still going.
Yeah, of course. He's got to go back May 10th for
At
LA.
the end of next week. Is that when it started? Basically, yeah.
Well, he's got to start rehearsing in a
I
week.
I just had a really fun time. There's so much footage that we got, and so
Ooh.
there will be stuff coming out about the show. There's not going to be like just the show. Like we did film multiple shows, but we're not going to release it as
A documentary?
as a thing on its own. I don't think, because I really made this to be more of like you're there and you're experiencing it live, which is why like I pushed the tour so hard, because one, it's something that I worked really hard on, but two, like it's not really a thing that I made to be experienced like on YouTube or anything like that. It was more something that I wanted you guys to see in real life, and maybe there will be something that comes out digitally, but for the most
Like a
part,
documentary,
it was made
essentially?
to experience live. And with that being said,
I
just
hope
wanna
so.
say a huge thank you to everybody who came to the shows
You're
and
welcome.
respected my wishes of nobody filming. I didn't see hardly any.
Well, I didn't film. I only filmed the Q&A, which you said was fine.
Put your phones away, blah blah blah.
Yeah, the second you said that, put it away.
Fully, which was amazing. Like I haven't really seen any footage of any shows, which has been really great. So I really appreciate that.
Does the Q&A count?
Not spoiling it for
Or
other people
does
in the
like
community who
2
haven't
seconds
seen
of the
show yet,
intro
but to
count?
just like
Essentially.
like I was just saying, this isn't something that I wanted to be filmed. This is
Obviously, I didn't film. I only filmed like a second of the intro of him walking out on stage, and that was it.
So I really appreciate everybody.
So, because it has no context behind it.
Being so awesome about it. B, I don't know if you can hear her. She's running around in the background. Hello, I had to step away for a few minutes. Cannot remember at all what I was talking about before this. But yeah, this video doesn't need to be super long. I just wanted to say how much I appreciate everything that you guys have done. Not only for the tour, but like everything ever. Like I would never be able to do this kind of thing if it weren't for you guys. And yeah, I don't know. I'm really excited about how the shows have been going.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for the future. I don't know what I'm gonna be doing next. That was like one
Yeah.
of the most popular questions that I would
Like,
get,
what's
that I would get
next?
asked during
What are you
Q&A
gonna... Really?
would be,
What do you do next?
what am I gonna be doing next? Like, what am I excited about next? And my answer for all of those was I don't know, because for everything that I've ever done, like any bigger project, in the middle of it, I'm always kind of thinking like, okay, but what comes after this? Like, there always has to be a next thing. And for the first time,
I kind of feel the
maybe
same way
ever,
when I
if
do
not,
like
just a
ego-related
really long
videos. Like,
time,
how can I top
I'm
that?
not letting myself think about that right now. I just
And I
wanna
just
kinda
don't really
live
think
in
about
what's
it until
happening
like
right now.
when
I
it
just kinda wanna
comes
live in the tour
to that
and
moment.
appreciate tour while it's going on. 'Cause
Appreciate it
it's
while
not
it
gonna
goes
last
on.
forever. And so I don't know what I'm gonna do next. I hope that it's more stuff like this because I've enjoyed it so much.
Of
but
course.
I don't really care right now. Like what I want to be focusing on is
I don't
the tour,
care right
what's
now.
happening right now, and giving you guys the best shows that I can, and just allowing myself to like live in the moment for a little bit, and appreciate what's actually going on right now instead of worrying about what's
The
coming
future.
next.
I try not to
Anyway,
plan out
I'm gonna
ahead
stop
and
rambling for
shit.
now.
Like,
Just
I try
thank you
not to
guys so
like,
much,
plan out way
for
ahead,
the
but
show.
like,
Thank you so much for being there.
just
Thank you
focus
for
on the
being
now.
a part of this and making this so incredible. And for those of you who haven't come to shows, again, I am leaving in about a week to go on the second leg, which is going to be basically the West Coast and Texas and a little bit of other places.
Vancouver.
I have to do this dot show and get tickets. I'm real excited. Thank you guys so much for being there and supporting this thing that I'm doing. I've had so much fun and I feel so lucky. So thank you guys so much, and I'll see you on tour again in like a week. Bye.
Okay, so pretty much that's exactly what I thought it would be. He was essentially talking about how, kind of like reflecting in a sense, on what he experienced during the first leg of the tour. And he felt super proud and how much he had, like, you know, he was so proud of how it came out, essentially, and how he pretty much worked on this for like a year and a half, and he didn't even tell Mika about it until, like, you know, a few days before the very first show in Chicago back in November. All that kind of stuff. Like, he was so, like, you know, kind of like uncertain, like unsure of like how people were going to react to it, you know, because this was something very, I guess, I don't know if you want to say vulnerable, because the show essentially was like about him and his relationship with his fans, essentially. That was pretty, as he put it. And I can tell, I can honestly, based on, because of the fact that I've seen it, I can honestly see that. And, you know, it's a way, because he even talked about, like, you know, how just how like it didn't feel real when, you know, he goes on stage for his shows and seeing like pretty much the entire venue filled up with people, without, with at least 1,000+ people in attendance, and he was like, "What, they're here for me?" Like, he kind of felt very like just shocked at that, and like it didn't feel real to him, because obviously, like, he mentioned like the times that he worked for, you know, when he was on Mark's You're Welcome tour back in 2017, 2018, and that was a completely different show. Like, that was a completely different show entirely, and, you know, it was more of like more of comedy improv-ish kind of a show. But this is obviously something that he was really excited about, because this was something that he worked on. And it shows. And it really, really shows. And, you know, he mentioned that he did film a lot of footage from the tour. Like, you know, I guess more footage for vlogs or some shit. Not as, I don't know if you want to say vlog, but like, because he mentioned like he doesn't have plans right now to release it yet, but he does have like maybe a potential thing down the line to release digitally. Like, I guess in a sense, a documentary of sorts, like Sean's, you know, tour documentary earlier this year. Maybe something along those lines. I don't know, because there were photographers, you know, there was like this one woman with this big giant, you know, camera lens on this little, you know, digital camera that she was, you know, taking photos of. And at one point after the VIP, you know, Q&A that he did at the show that I was at, she was taking photos of like each side. And I think at one point I did you know, I was in one of the photos essentially. So I don't know. Like, I don't know what the deal was with that, but, you know, who knows? But, you know, it would be kind of crazy to see me in that documentary. I'd be shocked, you know, if I happened to be, you know, captured in the documentary somehow. You know what I mean? Like, that would be very insane and very surreal, because I went to one of the shows, essentially, and I had a lot of fun over there. There will be a video of me talking about my experience going to the show, in a story time related video. Hopefully I will post it. Hopefully I'll get it done by May, the day that he goes back officially on tour, which is on May 10th. That's my goal, essentially. But right now I'm super, you know, busy with, you know, a lot of stuff coming up, especially at the time of me filming this, which is on April 29th. I have, you know, to prep up for In Space Part 2. I gotta, you know, prep up more videos for the whole month of May and stuff. So I gotta really prep myself up for videos and shit. So it's gonna be pretty busy for me. But I hope I can, you know, go and push through, you know. But yeah, like, overall, I'm happy for Ethan, and to see how, like, the fact that he was thanking his crew. He had like at least a total of 9 people as a crew for, you know, the whole show and stuff. And some of them would multitask with different, you know, multiple tasks and multiple, you know, jobs. Essentially, that is just insane. Like, the fact that they were able to pull that off without a hitch. And, you know, he talked about how all, like, everyone that came to the show was very, you know, cooperative and, you know, nice and shit. It's like, you know, like, it shows, like, how positive this community really is, essentially. Most of the time. But, you know, overall, that's really, in general, I'm really happy for Ethan. And, you know, very happy, you know, that he was able to showcase something that he felt very proud of. And he was able to, you know, be, you know, open about. Like, the whole, the whole show kind of showcased that. So I felt that was very nice. But anyways, I think overall that's really it. So, obviously Ethan is not necessarily 100% back because he has to go right back on the second leg of the tour, which runs... So, I have the poster that has all the dates, essentially. As you can see. Yes, he did sign it. So, here are the dates that are for the second leg of the tour. May 10th, Los Angeles, California. May 11th, Tempe, Arizona. May 13th, Dallas, Texas. May 14th, Houston, Texas. May 17th, Austin, Texas. May 18th, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. May 19th, Kansas City, Missouri. May 20th, Boulder, Colorado. May 21st, Salt Lake City, Utah. May 23rd, San Francisco, California. May 25th, Seattle, Washington. May 26th, Portland, Oregon. And then on finally, the last show ever, May 27th, Vancouver, in Canada. British Columbia, essentially. So, those are the last of the tour. He's got a bunch of shows to do going forward with the second leg of the tour. He's pretty much halfway through. That just is ridiculous, man. But, you know, I'm happy. And I hope, you know, whoever is going to the shows that are coming up, hopefully everyone has a fun time and stuff, because I sure as hell did. And, you know, I met a couple, you know, nice people over there, you know, and stuff, so that was nice. I did vlog. If you haven't seen my vlog of, you know, me going to the show, I highly recommend you go check it out. There'll be a card at some point during the video. But I know you're gonna say, like, oh, you filmed, you know, the intro. It's like nothing going, there's no context to it. It's just him walking on stage and saying, hello! That's about it. But I did film the Q&A, the VIP Q&A, which Ethan did say that it was fine to do. Like, he was more concerned about people filming the actual show itself. That's it. So, hopefully, those 10 seconds of him walking onto the stage in the beginning during the intro is not necessarily anything bad, because it's just the intro. It's just him walking on stage. So hopefully I'll be all right. But overall, that's all I did. I filmed the most of the Q&A. I didn't get everybody, because I just felt my GoPro was heating up, and I just didn't want to fucking overheat my GoPro, because I just got that damn thing, so I didn't know what the deal was and how it would work. But I'm glad that I was, like, you know, able to film me interacting with him, too. So that was fun. You know what's weird? I know if I keep dragging on. But you know what's weird? I have only watched my interaction with Ethan once. And for some reason, I'm kind of, like, nervous to rewatch it again and again. Over and over again. Why? I have no clue, because I feel like I'm just going to cringe at my stuttering that I was going through, because of the fact that I got starstruck in the moment, and, you know, it just felt like a fever dream, because I was talking to this fucking guy, you know, and stuff. So it was just like, oh, I was just like, oh boy, you know, I was just like all caught up in the moment. It was just insane to think about, but I just don't know why I don't feel comfortable rewatching it. Hopefully hopefully one day I'll get more and more comfortable watching it over and over again with no problem. But anyways, enough of rambling. Hope you guys enjoyed today's reaction. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe, share this video with your friends. Be sure to ring that bell to be part of the notification squad. Be sure to check out my Instagram, because I make collabs with Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, myself. I also enact with the cosplays on there, so go check it out. Be sure to check out my Tumblr and my Discord in the description as well. So until next time, JRDL96 signing out, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace!